Everybody needs to have something going on for
Right.
themselves, because that can be something that can create the next Amazon, next Apple. So all of us have potential. And two, it's like if you can get a job at a 9 to 5, you can create your own, because apparently they saw something in you.
Right.
So all of us have that potential. It's just we have to, especially in our communities, we have to think about ownership. Powernomics is
Okay, cool. So again, back to your story. If you can, just briefly, or just take however long as possible. How did you become first, knowledgeable about stocks, day trading, all of that stuff? Because it's not normal knowing this at 13, 14 years of age. So how did this start for you?
So the main reason I even got interested or even heard about the stock market was when I saw basically, well, at the time, a peer of mine who had made $50,000 off buying Nike stock. So like any business owner, I wanted to learn, of course, well, how he made $50,000 and how I can do that too.
Yeah.
So almost like any 8, 9-year-old, I, of course, went to my parents and I asked my mom if she could teach me how to invest in the stock market. And initially, she basically said no and brushed me off because she didn't think I was going to take it seriously or put in the work, or I wasn't ready to learn this information, because she never really did. Yeah. So where did it start freezing up at?
It started freezing up at you had a peer of yours that started like 50K, and you were kind of like brushed off by your mom, I think.
Okay. So yeah, she kind of brushed me off. And then I really just chose to do my own research and take the initiative. And I ended up finding out that you can open an account called your brokerage account, which is the account you use in order to trade and invest yourself. And then once I found that out, I came back to her and told her I wanted to open this up. Then she finally saw that I was actually interested about learning this skill, and I was going to put in the work to learning it. So we decided, like I said, she didn't really get too deep with it herself. So we decided to take a course, and we were taking a course together, but I kind of fell off near the end of it because the information, it went way over my head. So she finished up the course, found out what she could, practiced herself, came back to me, oversimplified the information, and that's how, well, we got to where we are now.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And man, from this conversation, and I know like so many other people in this chat, we're all here to learn, man, from you, because with stocks, with day trading, of course, as you probably already know, this isn't taught every single day in school. So what are some of those first initial steps possibly that we should take so we can start getting involved when it comes to stocks and other things as well?
I'll say the first initial step would actually be having to learn the knowledge and learn the information. I remember I saw a video, and it was a comment. I looked at the comment section. There was a comment on that video talking about, I would do it, but I don't understand the terms or the terminology. And the thing is, as you learn the knowledge, just like with anything, you begin to understand the terms, because not actually just learn it, but actually apply the knowledge. You begin to understand the terms and how everything works. Like you have to create a different mindset. You have to change from a consumer mindset of, ooh, this is happening in the news. It's happening. There's nothing to do with it. Where an investor's mindset, ooh, this is happening in the news, but let's see how I can make money off of it. Like I'm gonna give you an example. You guys remember the chicken wars from last year? It was between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, right?
Yep.
So I have one question. Where does everybody mainly get their chicken from? Tyson. Tyson is a publicly traded company.
That's right.
A whole bunch. Well, Chick-fil-A is not publicly traded; it's private. So a whole bunch of people were trying to get this chicken sandwich, and it was getting a whole bunch of press. So while that was going on in the news, everybody was making videos and reviews about it, trying to monetize that way. We as investors saw this as an opportunity to be possibly investing and trading Tyson, and of course, they actually did end up going up or bullish, which means up during this time.
Wow. And what you said was very profound about not having that consumer mindset, watching the news. So as someone that's involved when it comes to day trading and stocks, what exactly do you look for when you are watching the news or getting updates? What exactly are you trying to find?
I would say the necessarily thing I would try to find is pretty much how could this affect the company's stock, whether it's positively or negatively. If it ends up being something positive, like with the chicken wars, then of course I would do what's called a call option, which allows me to make it when it goes up. If it's something like a seed fire, they were not doing well. They were doing a good job, but they got in trouble or whatever happened. I could see if I could possibly do a put. And that's the thing is with trading, you can make money whether the stock goes up or down.
Got you. Got you. And what exactly is the difference between trading and investing? Because I'm trying to learn all of this stuff as well. So can you please break that down?
So the main difference between trading and investing is like super long term, and you actually own shares in the company. You actually own a part of the company. However, with trading, you don't own any shares, and it's also, well, temporary. Because the thing is, I would say the main difference is with trading, they have an expiration date. Unlike with investing, you can pretty much hold that stock for pretty much forever. So with trading, you have an expiration date. And also with trading, those expiration dates vary because the thing is, well, you of course choose your own expiration date. And there are different types of trading as well. There's mainly 4 types that people use. I like to specialize. I want to say I specialize. My favorite 2 are scalping and swing trading. And what are those? So basically what scalping and swing trading are is scalping. Let's say, you know what technical analysis is?
No, I don't. Can you please break that down for me?
So that's basically where you read the charts, and well, scalping is a part of that. So let's say Microsoft is at $100, right? And I buy it at $100, and they go up to $100 and $100.50, which is $50 with options with one contract. So let's say they go up 50 cents. So I make $50. Boom, I'm out. It's very quick, and there's a pun there. Surgical, like it's very, very quick, and you can't be hesitant with scalping. Then my second favorite strategy would have to be swing trading, which is more long term. So the main difference between, well, swing trading and scalping is of course the expiration date. But the thing is with swing trading, instead of with scalping, you might put your expiration date maybe like a week or 2 out, if that. With swing trading, you put it a couple months out. So therefore, it really just allows the stock to go in whatever direction that you want it to go in, whether that's a call, which means up, or put, which will, well, you make money when it goes down.
Wow. Wow. Man, everyone in the comments is like, the truth. Your course is priceless, man. And I've been hearing about your course on your page. I see you talking about it. What inspired you to give out this great information that is truly priceless? Because most people, if they find gold, they'll just, keep it to themselves. So what inspired you to take a step back and be like, yo, I want to share this with as many people as possible?
Really just the drive to help my community. And I believe the stock market is one of the best tools to do that, because I think of it as this way. So let's say I have a business, which I do. But let's say it's somebody else. So let's say I have a business, right? And let's say for a month or whatever, that business makes $500 profit. I can take half of that $500. So I can take $250 and put that into the stock market, right? Now, as a trader or investor, I can now turn that $250 to another $500, or especially $1,000 or $750. So you can multiply your money and basically employ your money. Wow. So it's not just sitting there in like a savings account or anything like that. So I can do that. I can flip my money in the stock market. Now I can take that money I've made in the stock market, or either take my initial investment out. So I'm now only playing with house money, or I can take however much I made or want to take out, and now put that back into my business. Now I can upscale my business. Now, what do businesses need? They need employees. Of course, not everybody can be a business owner. However, everybody can be an investor, but they can't necessarily be a trader either. So as the businesses scale and grow, of course, they're going to need employees. Now you can begin hiring people from the community. That's how you begin to create generational wealth and financial freedom in the community.
I love it. I love it, King. I love it. I think we just got a question in as well. Someone asked, here it is. So is options trading the same as swing trading?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So trading is trading. Options trading, swing trading, day trading, position trading, scalping, they're all the same. They're all trading. The main differences is specifically what the purpose is. So let me give it to you this way. Gotcha. So scalping is very quick, right? That's very quick. Like if you see people like $500 in 2 minutes, $1,000 in 10 minutes, that would be considered almost scalping, right? Then you have day trading. That's a little more long-term than scalping. And we're day trading. Let's say I buy it at 10 a.m. and I sell it at, let's say, 2 p.m. once I've made my target profit, right? So that will be considered day trading. Then swing trading, again, a couple months to let it go whatever direction you want it to go in. And then position trading is even more long term, where that you can go to a maximum of about 2 years with your expiration date. So that's almost like a stock at that point.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, trading
So
is trading.
how about this then? Yeah, okay. I get it. So for yourself and you having this acumen when it comes to knowing like the different types, when to do it, how to do it, for certain type of companies and stocks, when do you know to hurry up and go in and dip out, or I'm in this for like the long term? So how do you know which companies you should go for like the long game and some that's just quick?
I would say it really depends on volatility, well, being volatile, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say I have when I'm doing scalping and swing trading. So a company that would more so swing trade instead of scalp because it's not as well fast a mover or it's not very volatile would be like Microsoft, but it's consistently
Right.
bullish. So that would be a company I would consider doing a call on and doing for swing trading. However, for scalping, I would maybe do a company like Apple or Tesla where it's more volatile and it moves a lot. So therefore I can get greater returns in, well, a short amount of time.
Got you. Okay. And then, as we already know, with Tesla, you made a big move with that success. So congrats on that move. And
Thank
even
you.
with that, how did you know, yo, I should hop in on Tesla? So were you watching the news, reading articles? How did you know?
While Tesla is a very, well, wild company, it's
Yeah.
also very consistent as well. And I made that trade back in around March timeframe. So when COVID really hit the United States hard, and a lot of companies dropped from there. So I saw that, and I knew the market would, of course, just like anything, was going to have to, well, correct itself, just like it has in the past.
Right.
So I got in that Tesla. I bought it for about $2,800 or $28 was my price, and I ended up doing a swing trade on it instead of a scalp. I'm happy I did.
Yeah.
And a couple months later, I was able to sell it for $814 and made about $78,000 profit. And this was with one contract. Like with one contract, I can see that with maybe a couple, but one contract, that's crazy.
Yo, and you're only 13, right?
Yes.
So how does it feel knowing I'm making boss moves at 13 years old? How does that feel? Because I know in middle school, like nobody's even working yet. So how does that feel knowing I'm really mastering the stock market? How does that feel for you?
To be honest, I kind of expected it, and I kind of feel indifferent about it. Like that's a funny thing with me. Like I remember if you hear like even just other entrepreneurs are like, it's the journey, not the actually reaching the goal.
Yeah, it's the process.
In this case for me, making that $78,000 off one contract, I was like, yay! Now we just got to do it again. But I'll be like more happy about a $50 gift card that I get from Amazon than I am about that.
I love it, man. I love the energy. All right, y'all. I see the questions. We're about to get to some of them. Jay asks, do you trade airline stocks?
I really don't like to as much as I trade, well, other companies, but I do sometimes do airline stocks. The main one I do is Boeing.
Got you. So someone else has a question. I think it's ADH, or is it Dr. Ryan? I think somebody asked, the truth stated that his mom bought a $25,000 course. Who did she learn from?
So the instructor we learned from, we actually learned from a couple different instructors, but one of the main instructors that we learned from was Mr. Mike Koval.
Got you. Okay, cool. And how important is it for us to get this information, but to also use it? Because I know so many times that we'll get excited about something, but then when it's time to put that work in, we can kind of feel like somewhat scared and overwhelmed. So how should we attack getting that information that you're giving us and also applying it next?
I would say it really just have to be following GPA. And I don't mean grade point average. I mean having a goal, having a plan, and having an action. This goes with just business in general, but especially with the stock market as well. And I'm going to give you this way. Let's say my yearly goal is to make, let's say, $12,000 off the stock market, right? So I break that $12,000 by month. So I need to make $1,000 every month. So now how much do I need to make every week? I need to make $250 every week. Now how much do I need to make every day? I need to make a bare minimum of $50 a day.
So it's simple. It's broken down.
Break it down.
I love it.
And then, of course, that will be the plan for it. But you also want to create projects. So what's the difference between a goal and a project? A goal is something you don't have control over. That would be actually making that 12K. I have no control over that. Have some, but not much. And a project is something you have 100% control over. A project would be like you studying the information to reach that goal, or learning the information and really just practicing it as well, because you can't paper trade, which is just simulated trading. So that would be considered a project, and that goes all into the plan. And then last but not least, you got to take action on everything you do. Because if you don't take action, then it's just a waste of money.
Yes, sir. I love it. Hey, we getting so much free game right now, man. We are so appreciative for this. Let's get more to the people's questions, because they're asking left and right. So, Big Thing asks, do you trade more money, or more in the money, or out the money? So do you trade more in the money or out the money, if that makes sense?
It really depends on what I'm trading. But I would say I do more out the money than I will do in the money.
Okay. And let's go to the next one. Lily Barrett 61. Do you recommend Amazon stock?
I want to say well, I can't recommend anything, but I will say Amazon is a great company that I have been looking at for a while. But at the moment, not necessarily.
Okay. And then let's go to the next one. Do you think we should buy options before or after a stock split? That's a good question.
I would say really both, because again, you can make it in any direction. So of course, as the stock split, the price will begin to drop. So you can do a put on that, making money back the way. And as it corrects itself and continues to go back up, of course, you can make money on the call that way as well.
Nice. And on your page too, Chris, what I love is you debunking myths about the stock market and about finances. And one of the things that you discuss is something that I've always seen people talk about as well, is, hey, all these people make millions in the stock market, or just, a couple thousand, because they have money to make money. So can you break down that myth of it takes a lot of money to participate in stocks?
It really doesn't. Like I said, I've had clients start off with as much as $10. And then the thing is about the stock market, you pretty much always get your initial investment back, especially, of course, when you win. So let's say I'm going to do the $500 again. So let's say I have $500 and I invest that into a trade with Microsoft, right? So I paid $500 for it, and let's say I get just the bare minimum of $100 profit from that trade. So now I cash out, I sell that trade, and now I have $600 in my account. So you can really grow your account fast. It's really just about being consistent. Again, even with the $50, you can grow your account by over 1,000 plus in just pretty much a month.
Got you. And with the stock market, when you first learned about it and when you first started actually applying that's part of the GPA, you first started applying that action. What were some of the trials and some of the challenges that you faced when you first started?
I would say one of them would have to be, as far as the market goes, being greedy.
Okay.
And
that's interesting.
I would say as far as business, staying focused and discipline, and self-discipline. I would say as far as the market, being greedy, you cannot be greedy at all. Greedy will get you killed.
Got it. And that's actually a good transition, because that goes to my next question about being greedy, because I feel like and I don't want to compare it to this, but how people who gamble, if they win some money, instead of leaving that game, they'll try to keep making more and more and more, and eventually they'll start losing. So when it comes to stocks, how do you make sure that you know when to leave? Because I know if something hits big, some people like to stay. So how do you know when it's time to really get out of there?
Once I hit my target profit, as soon as I hit that, my target profit is like $5,000. As soon as I hit that, I get out. I'm not trying to wait till I get 5,500 or 6,000. And that does sometimes feel a little bad. It's like you made money here, but it went up even more, went down even more. You could have made more, but nope, because it could have went against you. You would have not as made as much money, depending on how far you're up. So yeah, just stick to your target profit.
Awesome, man. And what level of discipline does it take? Like participating and buying stocks, how do you stay focused overall?
I would say it's really just about managing your emotions. You cannot be emotional. You cannot be greedy, because if you will let your emotions really dictate your actions, especially in the market, you will lose. Because the thing is, if let's say I take a big loss on a trade, right? Right. And then I'm not as experienced, or I don't have control of my emotions yet. So I've taken a big loss of trade. And of course, I'm going to try and make that up. It's like with the gambling thing, you're going to try and make that
Yeah,
up.
that's true.
So as you try and make that up, you tend to become a little desperate. And of course, when you start making desperate trades, now you're losing even more money. Then you try to make that up.
Start getting emotional, like what you said.
Yep.
Okay. I love it, man. So much information from you. Let's go to some questions because, Chris, man, they're going crazy in the DMs with questions. So someone asked, what is your trading methodology based on? So what is that based on for yourself?
So my trading methodology, I would have to say it's really based, again, on the company, how the market's doing for that day. But yeah, I get to say it goes back to the company and how we're looking so far. If it's maybe more of a bearish day that I might look to being calls. Of course, you want to buy low and sell high. So it really depends on the company. But that's my methodology.
Got you. And this same person has another great question, and similar to what we talked about earlier. But what made you get into this path, especially for your age?
As far as the markets?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. When I saw the 14-year-old with the 50,000, that's what really.
Yeah, it changed it.
Yeah, the main thing was just making money, to be honest.
I feel you. And then, man, for you to be a young entrepreneur at 13 years old, how is it in the classroom sometimes if you're talking about like social studies or economics and you're sitting there and you're pretty much well versed in this? Like, do your peers come to you for help when it comes to math or like economics? So how does that feel being that young?
I would say it feels a little different because it's like a job, especially when they talk about jobs, like a job. Nah, I'm stick to what I'm doing. But
yeah,
it feels a little different in that case. But other than that, pretty much feels the same for me. Also, I do have to go so I can answer like 2 more questions.
I got you. So 2 more questions from the people. Let's see what we got. All of these are former questions. Somebody asked, when you scalp, do you use the money as strikes? I'm about to post it right now. When you scalp, do you use at the money? I think that's a typo. Strikes or out the money strikes?
Are they asking? I'm guessing they're asking in the money or out the money.
Right.
When I'm scalping, I do in the money.
Okay. Got you. And very last question. Within the next 5 to 10 years, where do you see yourself, your business, everything?
I would have to say in the next 5 to 10 years, I would have my own hedge fund, my own sports agency that will allow athletes to really take control of their finances and, again, employ their money. So they don't end up going broke after they leave whatever professional sport that they're playing. And they basically have to start from square one, because I know the sacrifice it takes just to reach that level and do all those years, put in all those years of hard work just to pretty much end up where everybody else was.
Amen.
They were rich. They weren't wealthy, because you can be rich. That's temporary. However, wealthy, that's long term.
Yes, sir. King, keep doing what you're doing. I know that you got to bounce. You got a million other things that you have to tend to. So keep up the great work, and the sky is the limit. We truly appreciate you, man. Hey, you be good.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Peace.
Peace.